Happy summer! It's the summer solstice and I am so happy because summer is my season. Really love summer, not just because I'm a solar being, but also because I call it my soul awakening anniversary is on the summer solstice, and in honor of that, we are rebranding the name of the YouTube channel, as you probably heard in my previous video that just came out a few days ago about whether Penny Kelly's book, The Elves of Lily Hill Farm, is an accurate representation of elves in a media format. So if you haven't watched that video, check that out. It's a little bit long, but it's totally worth the watch. There's a lot of channelings in that video. So if you just kind of want to sit and watch some channelings happen and really hear what elves are as opposed to what they are not, check that out. I decided to rename this the Realm of Inspiration and to offer more freedom to what we can do on this channel. By we, I mean not just me, also the healer of spirit and anybody else I happen to work with in the future who will play a role in the Realm of Inspiration's message, which is spreading inspiration and using the beings of inspiration's wisdom and guidance to help the collective. So it's summer. It's hot. We've been in a heat wave here in the American Midwest. Gotta love it. I have pineapple juice. I feel very active in summer. I feel like I've fully started to embody that it's summer, swimming suit, color frequency of the sun, and just the whole all-around vibe. So with the summer vibe, what can we expect this summer solstice? Let's check that out. Okay, Ascension. So I'm doing this thing with the book, which you will see in an upcoming series with that video coming out in a few days, where in that I introduce a domain and I open to a page in that domain section and see what message comes forth as kind of the starting message of the channeling, of meeting the domain. So I'm going to do that with this one. What the quote that shows itself to me right here is: soul contracts aid ascension. In actuality, everyone has an Elfian traveler guide to some degree, but many souls just state that their guide works behind the scenes. Others ask for them to be front lines in aiding in their development and purpose fulfillment. So guessing that this message is going to have to do with purpose fulfillment and your guides. Let's see if there's anything else that will come forth in this channeling, just an overlying thing. Oh, clearing misinterpretations. Yep, that's what I'm seeing. I am seeing again the experimentation. This is from the Chief Warrior. The mention of the experimentation. I know there's still been some experimentation going on, so I'm very interested and very curious to see really what comes forth. But the Traveler Guide Elder and the Chief Warrior Elder did make their presence known, so let's see if they're the ones that want to communicate. And I'm also hearing time very loud, so let's just see which one steps forth with some messages for the collective. So, time frequency elemental. Masculine energy from the cosmic Elfian elemental domain. Please step forth. Hello. Hi. 2022 summer solstice. It is a beautiful time. And this time brings action and tranquility. Action and tranquility is simply feeling peace in the actions that you're taking, feeling peace in the actions that you're doing. That is the overlying theme of this beginning part of the summer solstice, this end of the month in June. June's energy is tranquility, but action of heat, fire, and summer brings action and tranquility. This happens every year. If you don't feel it necessarily on a personal level, you can notice it on a collective level. How many times have action happened in the month of June that brought peace to something, that brought clarity to something, that ended a cycle of years and years past time to bring about a new age? That's what the energy of June is, tranquility in a new age of action. That is what the time is. That is what time you need to be focusing on. Finding tranquility in the peace of mind of the actions that you are taking, benefiting you and those around you. But also being patient. Humanity, what we have noticed is that you're all very impatient. You can all, and it doesn't matter who you are, you can all be very impatient about things. It's time for action. Feeling peace and clarity. July brings you energy and then calm and relaxing and taking a break from the action that you have done. And the summertime comes at the winter solstice. That's how the cycle of time works and the energy of the weather works. What happens is a lot of times you all get very, I want this now, I want this now, I want this now. Desire, ego thing, remove it, please. The time for metaphors is done, so I'm going to be as blunt as I possibly can. And we try to avoid metaphors at all costs, but sometimes we know that it's better to use them so that you can understand what we're trying to express. But I'm going to say this plainly and clearly. The new golden age is not going to come in the next 2 years. The new golden age isn't going to come if Earth is still trapped with negativity. The new golden age isn't going to come if people aren't stepping into their spiritual power, stepping into their soul's power, and start thinking independently. And the new golden age is not going to come until experimentation truly ends. You need to understand that, because there are people antsy and waiting. When is the new golden age going to come? I just want it to come. And you're just sitting there and waiting for it to come and doing nothing. It's not going to come if you do nothing. It is time for action, not sitting and, oh, I don't want to rock the boat. It is time for action. And that is what this summer energy amplifies. Stop sitting and waiting for things to change. Make things change. The new golden age isn't going to come if everybody is just sitting around waiting for it to come. You have to bring it about. That's why the term bringers of the new golden age has been ushered in with souls coming in, souls being born, souls that have been existing in the physical form for 15 to 18 years who are called bringers of the new golden age, whether they're awakened or not. Bringers, action. It's time to act. It's not time to sit and pray that things are going to change and do nothing. You can pray, but also do action. Does that make sense, collective? I hope that makes sense to all of you, because that is the message that we need to communicate. It's time for action. You don't like your job, change it. Take those choices. You don't like that the government's trying to take away your free will, do something to stop it. But make sure you are acting in positivity. Make sure that the actions that you are taking are from the positive polarity, not the negative polarity, because if you're taking them from the negative polarity, then that new age of golden peace isn't going to come, because you're using the negative polarity forces to stop things that you don't like. Action using positivity. Action using divine tranquility, divine justice, using the resources of the positive polarity guardians. The positive polarity guardians are all of the realms, are representatives from all of the realms. You are a positive polarity guardian at your heart of hearts. And all the warrior spirit souls are very, very high positive polarity guardians. So use that power of the positive polarity to help usher in change. Peaceful action. They want you to act angrily. They want you to take negative actions against their negative actions, because they know that you taking those negative actions is helping them, not hurting them. You are helping them do worse things by taking negative actions to try and stop them. You must understand this. Particularly coming this July, you must understand this. And you must never back down from what you believe in. Speak your truth. And speaking of speaking your truth, the Chief Warrior Elder is knocking at the communicator's door to come through and communicate, and I will let him. Hello, I am the Chief Warrior. Chief Warrior Elder of the Elfian Warrior Domain. And I have a message for all of you this summer. And it's very, very much related to what our time frequency friend was just discussing. It is time to step into your power. Now, the power of the warrior domain. These 6 pillars in the warrior domain are things that can help you. Understanding your karmic balance, divine justice, divine tranquility, kindness, being kind to your fellow humans, free will, the right to choose. Those are things that are very valuable to our domain and what we have Elfian elementals of. Free will. Peace and free will. Kindness and free will. Action. Now, in the ley lines of America, you have the 4th of July coming up. You have that energy of independence in the ley lines of America. And what's very interesting is that we see these themes are coming back, and astrologers have been talking about this for a long time. The energy is the same as it was during the American Revolution, astrologically. Independence, free will, and change. But here's what they did wrong. There's a difference between a warrior and a fighter. Do you know what that difference is? Warrior spirits, warrior souls are protectors. They are guardians. They bring about positivity, the true warrior frequency. There is nothing negative about it. A fighter, someone who tries to be a warrior, but does a lot of harm along the way. A fighter spirit, we call them. We call the fighter spirits those spirits that go in angrily. And this isn't taking away the meanings of fighter and warrior, but it's changing them. Because warrior is protector, guardian, standing up for free will, the right to choose, freedom, all of these ideals. A fighter uses anger as its motivation. There is a difference. And in this time, you must all be warriors. Whether you are a warrior spirit or not, it is time to step into your inner power for the right to choose and the right of freedom and free will. We believe in freedom very strongly. The Elfian Realm, we do, because we witnessed what happened when freedom was taken away and when someone tried to control and experiment on other beings during the Atlantean Age. It's important for you to know that the experimentation has technically never stopped. Do you know why? It is because of the fact that mental, emotional, spiritual, akashic, and physical experimentation happen a lot, whether it's with humans or not. And what you don't understand is that just because it's not happening to humans doesn't mean that it's not happening to animals or plant life. And if it's happening to plant life, it is affecting the energy of Gaia. That has a ripple effect on the energy of everything. A type of experimentation is creating fear in the hearts of people and seeing how they react. That is a form of experimentation. Manipulation is experimentation. And a lot of you, whether you realize it or not, have been victims of manipulation. Almost all of you have, whether personally or on a collective level, you have. It's simply someone lying to you and trying to gaslight you into thinking that something's true when it's not. It happens a lot more than you may realize. So it is important for you to trust your own inner guidance system and activate your highest dimensional intuition. Very important. And to help you activate your highest dimensional intuition, the Elder of the Traveler Guide domain is going to give you some steps you can take. Hello, I am the Elder of the Traveler Guide domain, and to aid you in your ascension process of activating your highest dimensional intuition, I will give you some steps. First and foremost, step away from the negative polarity. And I mean this very seriously. And here are things that can block you. Anything that you are doing that is contributing to the 7 deadly sins. So the pride of your ego, greed, gluttony, lust, any of those things. Anger. There's a difference between being passionate about something, believing in something strongly, and anger. And what happens is people can confuse that and make you feel angry when you're trying to show that you're passionate about something. And because that energy is very similar and they're polar opposites of each other, that strong belief in something and anger, the passionate way that you speak versus being angry. Somebody who is lost in the negative polarity can try and turn that energy, switch it around on you if you're being passionate about something, and try and make you angry, because then you drop to their level, because they see that you're passionate about something and they see how high frequency that strength is, and they want to drop your frequency. You need to pay attention to people who do that to you. Talking loud and expressing sound frequency in a way that people can hear you does not equivalent that you are an angry person. You must understand this, because there are people who will try and convince you otherwise. Sloth. That is the next one. Being sloth-like can also mean that you have given up on life. Life in the sense that anybody can experience the spiritual fatigue. The spiritual fatigue is where you just want things to be better. You understand your soul, you understand what you're meant to accomplish, and you just want to do that right now. You just want to do that concrete mission right now, and you're tired of it, and you're just going to sit and sloth around and not do anything else. What you don't realize is that is negatively affecting you dimensionally, and that is stopping you from connecting to your highest dimensional intuition. So just because things aren't going your way right now doesn't mean that you are doing anything wrong, and it doesn't mean that you can't do something with your energy. And what happens is people who have this excess amount of creative and creation energy go and do negative things, like do things that benefit lust and desire. That is one of the worst ones that it takes a while for humans to break away from. It's because of programming that happens, and we have witnessed it, and we know that it's hard, and it can aggravate inside someone when we tell them that the media is trying to program you to follow the 7 deadly sins so that you fall deeper into the negative polarity. People can get all antsy and irritated, and that's because the ego knows that it's true and doesn't want you to see the truth. So it's very important that you throw away the ego. Really, you can have a personality and exist without the ego. You can have relationships with the people you've created in this physical form without living through the lens of the ego. You can keep your name. You can keep the clothes that you wear. You don't have to change that. That's not a requirement. It's just not living through the lens of the ego. We all have our own personal identities and stories on a soul level. I do. I have a different one than the chief warrior. I have a different one than every single member of my domain. I have a different story. I have a different origin story. I have a different life that I've led. You can have an identity without the ego. That identity is your true, authentic self. Very important. So to activate your highest dimensional intuition, you must step away from the negative polarity, try and rid yourself of all gray area elements, and truly step into the positive polarity. Now you wonder, how can I be a functioning member of society if I'm in the positive polarity and they're in the gray or negative? How can I help them? You can help them by being in your light. You can interact with them. You can talk with somebody who doesn't share any of the same beliefs as you. You can have a conversation with somebody and simply in your mind, as you are speaking to them, say, I see your soul, I see your soul, I see your soul. Call upon their soul. No matter how dark that you think that they are, just call upon their soul. That simple action elevates your energy and elevates their energy. Because the positive polarity is always positive and doesn't take anything away from anyone. We just want you all to understand truth. We hope that you do during this season. Goodbye. I am like, wow. I've shown a lot of visuals that I feel like I need to talk about. Very quickly. I was seeing change, but it was as if every person who stepped into their true authentic self something changed for the better. Every indigo soul, every huntress soul, every healer spirit that has been trapped in negativity, stepping into their true authentic self, taking that leap of faith and stepping into themselves and throwing away that ego control, made such a big impact, and there was so much positive change from it. Every individual person, and you think that you don't make a difference by doing your mission and purpose because you're not seeing it in the media, but what I was shown the visual of is that there's so much positive change happening that we're not seeing in the media because that's not what they want to show. And wow. But it seems like this change is over the next few years. Like, it's not happening like in July. It's within the next few years I'm seeing it happen. And it's taking slow progressions because that rush of light, it can have a damaging effect if it happens too quickly. Because if not enough souls are ready, and there are not enough souls that are meant to help the adjustment ready, because the children of Gaia have to help the adjustment. And if they're not ready to help in the adjustment, then it can't happen. So patience is very key right now, and just live in the moment. They kept showing me a visual of a present, and I don't know what they were talking about when that happened, but they kept showing me the visual of a present. So I think that just means live in the present. And it can be hard, especially when you start to have an understanding of other things, but you have to live in the present to truly find your authentic self. So I'm going to leave you with that, sending you love, light, and inspiration, and I will see you in the next direct channeling. Hope that this helps. Stay inspired, beautiful souls, and happy summer!